Alrighty, howdy, hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing amazing today. We're gonna get right into it, and honestly, yeah, that's really just it. We're just gonna get right into it. I hope you're all doing amazing. Hope you all been taking good care of yourselves for the most part here. Yeah, hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Today, I'm thinking we're gonna make forward progression overall today. Probably, more than likely, yes. It's just kind of in this case a question of certain things on just like what we can do to further improve what's going on. That's like obviously the hardest part. Duh, of course. Let's see, making sure the counter is working. Okay, yeah, the counter works. Good. Okay. Cool. Alright, yep, let's go ahead and get right into it. The routing, I think, has gotten, I wouldn't say tighter by like a lot and a half, but I do think the routing has gotten at least a little bit tighter, more or less, which is nice. So, there we go. Lands between Rune, and I don't really have a name on the top of my brain right now, so we're just going to go ahead and go with Police. Okay, cool. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. So I guess the way that I see it right now, more or less at least, is we're probably going to do early game with balls, or more likely we're going to do more balls off rip, just because of the value that balls do have. And we'll kind of keep using balls until we get to a point to where we can actually swap off into our next major weapon. We're not going to completely ignore the Zweihander on this run. That's just not going to happen. But we'll kind of figure it out a little bit more as we're moving along, more than likely. Really, one of the biggest issues that I've come into at this point so far has really just been the Crystallian Cave and also the old Aldous Tunnel. Those are probably two of the most, like, just generally dangerous locations that I get, like, really stupid hits on. Obviously, there's still issues with bosses and whatnot. But I don't really believe those to be as bad in the grand scheme of things. They aren't really controlling or causing a majority of the hits to happen. So yeah. I was really obsessed with that other Roa fruit. I didn't really need it, obviously, but, well, here we are. So, yeah. Something that I've made a couple mistakes on here that we're probably going to stop doing is I was trying to do more bowless, not murdering things in Fort Height. And admittedly, honestly, there's not really good enough reason to not just murder things in Fort Height. Not really, at least. There's no real good reason to avoid murder in Fort Height. Especially considering we can use a bow, kill a couple of extra enemies, and we're essentially good to go anyways. So, really, we're just going to go ahead and start doing that again. I know that's not really a lot of money right there, but fuck it, it's a handful of money. And the way that I see it is a lot of this early pickup stuff is just pretty much money that I can get along the way. It's easy enough. There's not really a reason to not do it. So. Like that guy right there. Now, to be fair, I did make the mistake there. I almost got fucking hit for it, which would have been embarrassing. Is I chose to not prioritize the man's murder. I chose to prioritize picking up the flower, which was kind of stupid. But, you know, that's about fitting for me. Alright. Starting off with the runes that we need for the most part. You know what, actually? Maybe we could ignore... Because what I've been doing is I've been leveling up my decks to meet the requirement sooner than later for the mace. But if we end up going to Fort Height sooner than later anyways, or not Fort Height, but Fort Feroth, we could just go to Fort Feroth and just go take care of what we want right there. Because in this case, once we get the Source Seal will cover the requirements needed for wielding the mace. So we don't really need to meet the requirements for the mace. We don't need that dex. It might technically be beneficial to have that dex, but not right now at least. So you know what, I think I'll resist the urge to spend my money immediately, I think. Which is kind of funny because honestly, like, I don't really have a good enough reason to not spend that money, but at the same time, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Apparently it wasn't two-handing. I did this a little sloppy. Yeah, I did do that a little sloppy. Didn't get hit for it, though. Did not get hit for it, though, so you know what? We'll fucking take it. It shouldn't have happened that way, at all. Like, that, honestly, that was fucking goofball strats, like, to the maximum. But, whatever, we'll take it. Yeah, I think... Here's the thing. Go ahead and get the 10 faith that we will eventually need anyways, I think. Yeah, because if we get this now, we don't have to think about it later, and we will be getting the faith talisman that will give us the 5 faith to get Flame Grant Me Strength online. And then at the same time, we can pretty much just go ahead and continuously pump strength for the most part. We don't really encounter our first boss for quite some time. You know, I'll hold off on the faith, I think, a little bit longer, because strength is probably arguably a little bit more important for the time being. Because we're going to be doing a little bit more, like, general melee, as opposed to using Flame Grant Me Strength for really a lot. It's going to be a while before we get Flame Grant Me anyways, so... Also, I just realized I left at nighttime, which was, pretty stupid, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure I definitely don't get punished for this. You know, it would have been funny if he had actually killed himself there. I would have appreciated that one. Alright. Let's go ahead and go run and get the grace that's close to Weeping, and then we can start heading towards Fort Height. Once we're at Fort Height, we'll go ahead and get the actual Dectus half that's there. It does, I figure, fuck it. It's so soon and it's so quick. I mean, in all seriousness, we're 6 minutes in, and we could technically have been there a little bit sooner than that, even. So by the time we end up getting there, it's really not that much time actually invested in that little routing. Technically speaking, it might be safer, too, to be at nighttime right now for the wolves that are guarding that graveyard. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure, but fuck it, we're trying things today. The other thing I think I realized the other day, too, is we don't really need to buy any lilies. We get a lot of lilies on our route. It's just kind of a thing, right? It's like, why waste that money? Okay. Alright, that, in theory, should provide me some protection. In theory, it should provide me some protection. It's funny that I say these things, and then the game just kind of immediately proves me wrong. I mean, it's fair, and I'm not exactly surprised that the game would do this. It just, you know, fair enough. Oh well, there's not really a lot of good money pickups there anyways. I don't even think there's a +5 there. I think the most that Graveyard gives is like a +3 and a +2. Alright, let's do the Fort Height run. Oh, okay, that was, like, surprisingly locked on to where I was gonna stand. You know what, I guess there's one reason to come in daytime right there, because otherwise I would have actually taken that shot, and that would have been a little unfortunate. Beautiful. Good start. You know what? Honestly, good start. I can't really say I'm surprised. Maybe I should have just gone for a Ash of War hit there instead. Yeah, probably. Oh well. Funny enough, that's not my first Felice. Yeah, that seems about appropriate. I thought there was one more character I did the other day. This might have been it, yeah. This was the one I think I had started the other day, and I'm just gonna fucking delete it. I don't want to fucking continue with it. If it ain't the run, it ain't worth it. Granted, that line of logic isn't exactly gonna work for everything here, but that's the wrong talisman. Alright, let's do Twink. Fuck it. Alright, round 2. Surely this one will go better. Menuing was kind of ass, fair enough. Bow cancel was done well. GG's. I feel like throwing on some other music, admittedly. We'll see. I might actually do that. I kind of feel like doing it just because, honestly, why not? It doesn't fucking matter. So tonight we're probably going to stream for a while, obviously. Usual, like 2, maybe 2.5 hours, roughly. But I think after that, more than likely, I'm probably going to call it at that point. I know that we're definitely streaming earlier than we normally do in this case, but time frames have been a little bit weird, and I've honestly just kind of not been in the right space to be streaming a ton here lately. So I kind of wanted to make a compromise for it because I didn't want to avoid streaming entirely. So we probably will end up calling it more or less sooner than later tonight, but yeah, just I think kind of the general idea right now. Where's that tree sentinel? He's around, but he's not giving me direct issues right now, I guess, so I'm not going to complain about him too much. Alright, run out here, collect the small rune. Gorgeous. Alright, it would be really, really cool. It really doesn't honestly make too huge of a difference in the grand scheme of things if these guys drop it for me. But it would be really nice to see a handful of Smithy 1s. Okay, well that's really not what I needed at all, but sure, fuck it, why not? It's something to sell, I guess. It's not really worth jack dick, but fuck it. Alright, cool. Put on the kukri. The kukri will pretty much just stay on our hotbar the entire run. Funny enough, I'm kind of questioning why do I go for this grace, because, like, the other grace does the same job, but slightly better. So I think what we're going to do here instead is I'm going to just run around and just go ahead and head towards my next location that I want in the first place. Because, like, they both do the same job, it's just a matter of choosing the right one. Likewise, and it doesn't really matter that much, but this guy right here, in theory, I could just do that, right? Like, quick little headshot on him and he's immediately dead. Get some runes, possibly a smithy stone, or something to sell, which is more runes. And then I still get my flail. So, okay, yeah, you know what, maybe I'll do that going forward for routing purposes. Because, like, it just kind of makes sense that I would do that in the first place. I do want to go ahead and set it back to daytime on this cycle before I fucking move on. Otherwise, I'm going to run into that issue from before. And that would not be too pretty. No, no, no.
Have they, sir? But you, I can play turning root to aid you. You need to the foot. Then summon me. Ah, I bequeath. It will some torrent. Treat him with.
Alright, I think if we pass time first, Melina disappears. Then we don't have to deal with her dialogue. Yeah, cool. Fuck. Why did I do that? I guess I don't know if it really matters if it's noon or morning when it comes down to it. Because I know that there's not really any difference between the two in terms of, like, overworld, what's going on. Not particularly, I think. Nah, fuck it. We get the strengths anyways. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try this out this time. Just need to remember the fact that I will eventually need to have that dex requirement covered in order to use the flail. So, which again can be covered with the source seal. So. All right, get the one smithy. All right, that is 2 smithies. We still go ahead and get the sombers just in case I need extra money. And yeah, I mean, obviously we do still need to head towards Weeping at some point or another here, but I mean, I don't know. I think maybe once we're done with Fort Height, maybe I'll choose to do that. Because at least at that point in time, I could see that being reasonable enough. And that is more smithy stones for us to get sooner than later. And the reason those smithies matter is because that's our early upgrade material, so we don't have to buy upgrade material. Because the more I think about it, the less we actually need to go and purchase, which would be extra runes towards other things. Because you gotta figure 200 apiece, 12 of those little bastards. You're spending a good chunk of change every single time you want to buy enough smithy stones. Just base smithy stones, even, to go and level up a weapon. Like 12 of them, that's 2,400 at that point. just to go and do that, and that's kind of a healthy amount of money to be spending this early on. Oh, fuck. Right, other wolves. Whoops. Surely they don't aggro super well, right? The one did. The one has definitely tried to aggro. Alright, try that angle. See if that goes slightly better. Really, the one concern here is the big direwolf, but apparently the big direwolf is just kind of saying, fuck you, I don't really care for your shit today. And it's a little frustrating, but whatever. As I already stated, there's not really a lot of really good pickups at that graveyard, so I'm not going to I'm not going to worry about it. I could also technically take the time and shoot every single one of them, but again, I'm not really trying to rely on a bow heavily. I just want to use the bow for things that are more or less like, yeah, I probably do need that right now for this situation, so. Alright, more Roas. Beautiful. Yeah, that guy's not in the same position as before, which is good. Can't have him causing me unintentional getting shot. That no good. Not so great. Okay, missed the jump. Beautiful. Missed the jump again. GG's. Okay. Missed the jump a third time. GG's. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, it was probably the way I was doing it more than anything else. Barely even moved. And just barely dodged that shot. That was gorgeous. Good for him. I don't normally have any issues with that rat in particular, for all it was worth. It's just unfortunate when it goes sideways. Obviously. There we go. Oh wait, no, I do need the bow for like 2 more seconds here. I don't remember the exact setup for this one that I did. I think that's right. Yeah, okay. Alright, clean enough. Beautimus. Not really sure if I made determination on whether or not I actually need the bleed grease recipe. But I kind of like to imagine that I just kind of do, for the sake of argument here, because it's really good. And, like, this technically doesn't cost me much time to make this happen. Oh, they're just being cheating little bastards. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, little fucking bastards on that one. Okay, good for them. You know what? Honestly, kind of base. They went for the better plan. Didn't work for them, obviously, but still. Alright, I have one more kukri at this point. I'm trying to think of where that kukri is going to be used. I don't think I know exactly off the top of my head, but we'll know once we get there for sure. Yep. Okay, didn't get the wall bounce because I was too... I got bounced away from the wall. Again, kind of just more shit that I don't really need here, but I'll fucking take it anyways, because it's money. Right, cool. There we go. We probably will want to buy some more arrows. Probably. Sometime soonish here. It is, again, honestly kind of helpful having the availability of being able to shoot some arrows.
Welcome. Well, you please. I'm
So, I'm trying to think if I actually need those, and I don't really think I do in this case. I think I'll go and buy 2. And if I for some reason need more than those 2, we have another merchant that's right on the beach that sells an extra 3, and then there's also 1 extra merchant that normally sells the poison kit. We can go to him as well. So we have our options. But I'm pretty confident we really didn't even need to buy those 2 in the first place. We might end up buying more later. That's always a likelihood, but... Go and get the Smithy 2 right here, because why not? Alright, there we go. All lilies acquired. Go ahead and get Strength Talisman, and then we go ahead and warp back. Alright, cool. There we go. We'll go get the Strength tier, head towards Third Church, and then once we're done at Third Church, we'll probably do our full little loop around. Go ahead and head back towards Weeping and wrap Weeping up. Yeah. I am going slightly the wrong way here. I am getting as many of these flowers as I can possible, because I do have a reason for them for the most part. I don't really know if it'll go super well. We'll kind of have to figure that out once we get to that point. But the idea is that I might end up going after the Red Feathered Branch at some point or another here. And in theory, if everything goes the way that it should, that should be very well worth the effort. Should be. Alright. We are going to go ahead and kill Kennethite. He's worth 500 and a tree seed, so...
in rescuing the great Kennethite. Goodness gracious, must.
There we go. And because we're not in combat, we can save quit the game. So we do save quit the game. And that gives us the runes, and it also gives us his seed, which, I mean, honestly, we don't probably even need Kennethite's seed, but, I mean, fuck it. We're right here. What? Excuse the fuck out of me? Okay, never mind. We don't get Kennethite's seed today. I forgot to wait for the runes. I forgot to wait for the runes. Okay. My man's fell to his death, I save quit the game, and he just said, nah, I don't fucking feel like it. Alright, whatever, that's fine. And now he's... now he's slow-walking me. He's aura farming. Fucking Kennethite took his last fall. And now he's aura farming. This fucking bastard. Good for him. You know what? He earned it. He earned to breathe this one time. God damn it. that one kind of annoys me. That one kind of annoys me. Ah, god damn it, man. That's annoying as piss. Alright, hopefully the dragonflies didn't properly aggro. I might sit down real quickly to make sure that they didn't, but at the same time, I think I'm okay. Surely I have to be. Surely my judgment can't be wrong twice in a row in the silliest human way possible. Alright, Caelid's a bit early, but fuck it, it doesn't really matter. Order of operations for a lot of this shit right now is... It doesn't really matter on everything here. It just kind of matters that we get these things done at some point. And that's really about it. Because, like, we don't really need to come here for a while, but at the same time, the items that we do get here can kind of just benefit a lot of the rest of this, so... And it's more money and all that, so... Alright, with fucking Wacky Doober Kenneth luck, surely we're not gonna also get Wacky Doober Dragon luck. Surely. That would be almost too goofy for me, even. Too goofy 5 me. Alright. I say as he fucking does the one thing that I really wish he wouldn't have done. I mean, I got away with it, but like... Alright, you know what, honestly, fuck it. If this is the run that we get it on, it's all the more impressive now. Because now it's literally just been a run based off of goof. Absolute fucking goofball syndrome has plagued the beginning of this run. It only makes sense that we get it now. Alright, there's some money. Alright, this is access to Fort Height. This is access to most of Caelid. Pretty much all of Caelid. Which we do want a really good chunk of Caelid available to us. I do resist the urge to murder Grail. Purely off the basis that I feel like it'd just be a little too easy to get like a free 90k care package like that. At least on these runs anymore. Like, when we don't really need it, it's nice, but... It's certainly not a requirement. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go do the Caelid fun run. I need to make sure that I have little to no runes by the time I do Fort Faroth. I want to pretty much be close to broke when I'm doing Fort Faroth, because if I'm close to broke doing Fort Faroth, I don't have to worry about whether or not something's aggroed to me or not. I can just warp out, pretty much. So that's ultimately the game plan there. Luckily, because we're going over to the other side of this little peninsula here, we're going to go and spend this money that we currently have on stock. And get the Beast Torch, which that, in theory, should pretty much make us safe whenever dealing with, like, animal situations. So, yeah. We, in theory, should be fine. It pretty much makes a lot of these, like, Caelid-based running sections a lot more free. Just in general. So, It's nice. It's nice to get. I don't remember if there's a very particular way about going about this, but I'm willing to assume avoid Dougie is pretty much the main lesson here to learn. Otherwise, yeah, we should be fine. I took some very wacky-duper pathing there, I'm not gonna lie. And I can only pray that the dogs did not want my butthole there for the first time. What we're gonna do real quickly is I think I'm just gonna do a quick little reload of the area. And that essentially does the job that I want it to do and makes it so I'm safer. So.
Well, it's been how can I?
Alright, I need... I think it's 1,200 or 1,300? 1,200. Okay, cool. There we go. Still a little bit over, but whatever, it's fine. It's really not that deep. And I can honestly probably just take the rest of my money here and just put it into these arrows, and yeah, we have one rune. Cool. Alright, back to Fort Faroth. And now, time to deal with Fort Faroth fun. Which will surely go very, very well, and not at all bad. You know, admittedly, I don't know. I know the luck on it feels very random for the most part. But, like, you can get away without, like, getting poisoned at all while you're chilling in here. It just kind of seems a little random on whether or not it happens when you're coming in this early in the game. But either way. If I remember this right, you don't technically have to be holding the torch in your hands to do this. It just, I don't know, I would prefer to do that and be a little bit safer. And pretend that, yes, I do need to wield the torch. But otherwise, you can just kind of have it on your person, and that's usually, like, the through line. Anyways, we were aggroed, so we do have to warp. Go. Beautiful. Okay, cool. That covers our requirement. And that gets us a whole bunch of stats. Not too bad. Alright, and as I said about the torch, you can pretty much just leave the torch on your back. And you're good to go on that. Alright, let's go ahead and start heading down towards Lower Caelid. Once we're done here, we can pretty much head back towards Weeping and take care of what we need to in Weeping. And then we are off to Liurnia, pretty much. I kind of did that from the higher part of the roof, which was kind of stupid, but I mean, we got away with it, so it doesn't really matter. I take some falling damage there? I guess I must have. Yeah. Here's the thing, Little Dragonfly Alley is relatively dangerous, but like, as far as I can tell, just running through it and just getting the fuck out is usually safe enough, so I trust it for the most part. There we go. Plentiful amount of items that will matter. For the most part, at least. Get this grace because, well, safety. Alright, something I didn't do last time that I will probably be doing this time is I did actually go, I am going to go get this grace up here by the dragon church, because it just puts me a little bit closer to Fort Jail, and I do want sooner than later access to Fort Jail for getting Flame Grant Me Strength. I figure the sooner I have a massive damage buff like that, just kind of makes reasonable sense. So, yeah. It's good to have access to it. Didn't really want to sit down, but I accidentally chose to do that instead of just doing a quick warp.
Forgive
That's
me.
my bad.
I've been to determine if you have
Hey,
seen
Dog
the
Knight.
torrent
Hope you're doing well
design
tonight.
there is, but I
I'm
can
doing
take
okay.
gathering.
I'm doing alright.
Very let my hand.
Living my best. I hope you're doing well too, man. Okay. Alright, I don't really have anything to do here just yet, so we're actually going to just head right back. And we're going to go ahead and head right on down towards Castle Redmane, pretty much. Once we're done at Castle Redmane, that point then we'll probably head back towards Limgrave and whatnot. Don't forget to drink water. No worries about that, man. Although I won't lie to you, right now my hydration could probably be a little bit more focused. It's not water right now. It's coffee, and I also have some beer. But I do promise you that once the coffee and beer have run out, it is water time. So, which luckily I have my jug to the side, so. I'm pretty confident these dogs will ignore me-ish because of the torch on my back. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Beer's always okay, we'll scam it. Yeah, exactly. You can always appreciate a good beer. Although, admittedly, I've been told that my taste with beer is piss water, apparently. I respect it. I respect that, at least for some folks, that they have probably a higher palate than me when it comes to beer. But I'm not going to lie to you. I enjoy myself a nice Miller. And I just enjoy Miller. That's really about it. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Okay. Alright, let them die ever so slightly more. One more murder for me, please. Okay. Yeah, that's probably enough murder, more or less. Okay, we don't really need Fort Jail yet. So I think I'm just going to ignore Fort Jail for the time being. Fort Jail will be important, but it's not currently important for what we're doing. For right now, we're just going to start heading towards Weeping. Aiming for a world record? No, I'm just looking to get an any percent. I want to get any percent no hit. And that is really the primary goal in this case. As far as things stand, there's a lot of this that I think I have really well covered, but there's some smaller nuanced areas, and also Gideon, that I need to do better. I need to do better. Gideon's just a bastard, and we got a solution for him last time. Or like our last major run-through, we got a solution for him. So I like what we have planned for Gideon. But other than Gideon, we have a handful of bosses that I need like a little bit more training on, a little bit better for. But really, this is any percent hitless is the goal. And then if we end up getting any percent hitless at that point, I'm going to probably end up extending it that slight bit further and just do more because, well, I guess at that point I can, right? So, I don't really need a lot of these just yet, so I think I'm going to buy just a handful of kukri. Yeah, thank you, Dog Knight. I appreciate that, buddy. So right now, all we're currently doing is we are doing our setup, and it does take a while to do the setup for the most part. We probably could narrow it down like a significant amount in all seriousness, but I do like the idea of being way over-prepared for this shit as opposed to coming into it and not really being prepared at all. So I am kind of over-prepping. But in terms of all we need right now, we're going to end up finishing up here in Limgrave shortly. We want to run all the way down to the peninsula to go ahead and get the beach grace. Yeah, no... I don't think there are any glitches on this run. You know what? Technically, there is... I guess there is one glitch, but I haven't really been doing it. That was Birdfuck Valley. Doing Birdfuck Valley skip. That would be the one skip. But I have just kind of been doing it normally at this point. So, yeah, I guess so, yeah. It is this one right here for bleed grease. That little pile of bleed grease right there is making me question really whether or not I need the bleed grease recipe. Because if I end up only needing 2 bleed greases for the entire run, it really doesn't make sense for me to even pick that up. It's not that it isn't useful, it's just kind of questionable on whether or not I really need craftable bleed greases when that craftable book is kind of guarded by otherwise relatively dangerous enemies. And, like, getting it otherwise, I mean, I can do it. It's just a kukri and some arrow shots, but I have to do that to make that happen. And that puts me kind of at risk. So. Really, the one I'm gonna hopefully handle well today is, inside of the Crystallian Cave where you get the smithing bell. There's one spot in the cave where they drop down 2 of the arrow mannequins, and then there's one sword mannequin right around the corner. That little section right there is just... The fact that they just take so many pot shots at you makes it so just running through there, you might get hit just for doing that. And then when it comes to that sword mannequin, the sword mannequin has claimed 2 of my stocks so far. And it's just because he's chilling slightly out of sight. And then he shows up and is like, oh, well, I'll just fucking do it. And he stabs you, and it's like, oh, that was really cool. I like the part where I fucking lost the run. Nice. The Zweihander is going to probably be one of our main weapons on this run, but we're not getting it just yet. Actually, you know, hang on. I might be able to get it if I sell these. Sell those off. How much is it again? 3,500? Okay, sell that off. And don't worry, we don't really need those stones. We're not using any somber weapons on this run, so it doesn't matter. Keep a shield just in case I need it. There we go. I really don't even need to buy this just yet. I'm just kind of thinking in advance, roughly, to make sure that I just have this with me. Because this isn't really a weapon we're going to be using for a lot. Well, kind of. It's not going to be a weapon we're using for some time, at least. So.
Have a safe.
Alright, there we go. Cool. I think at this point we can go ahead and head on up. Also, I just took the wrong grace there. That's my bad. I actually meant to take this grace over here. It's not necessarily that it's like a shit ton safer to go the back way, but I'm finding it safer to go the back way purely off the fact that, like, I don't know, it's a little bit less risky. A little bit less risky. How many lilies am I at this point, actually? I am currently at 12 lilies. About to be 13, I think. We don't really need a lot of lilies. I like to keep an idea of how many we're at. We have one more graveyard to loot right over to our left. We need to go ahead and head this way, get the Site of Grace, and then we'll go ahead and book it towards our next destination. I feel like a lot of this, though, has been pretty good. A lot of this I've been figuring out a lot better, and I've started more or less making the concessions that I need to make the movements faster, the runs smoother, less risk overall, which is nice. I have like enough of a base game knowledge, but now it's kind of like skimming that down even further, which has kind of been fun. Likewise, it's also just kind of been fun for the sake of just like, hey, now I need to play even better than I did before, and I don't know, it's been fun relearning the experience. And there's a dragonfly on my butthole. Of course there is. Is it aggroed? No. Okay, good. Alright, I think that's everything in this graveyard. Cool. Alright, don't have enough smithy stone ones yet. But I believe in this case, because of where I am and what I'm doing, I don't actually need the ones from the merchant we're about to run past. He sells 3. We don't need them. We can actually ignore those, because we'll get 2 on the bridge, and then there's another one of those corpses that's over by the shack where you find, I'm forgetting her name. But you find another 2 over there as well. So we're good. We should be fine. We do technically want the Site of Grace. I haven't really baked in a good time to murder Alexander here. Like, we may just end up murdering Alexander during the festival again, because honestly, that's kind of what we've been doing. Like, our Radon fights have been going so stinking well that, generally speaking, it just kind of, we don't really need the Warrior Jar Shard quickly. We can just kind of save it for later. So, yeah, okay. Alright, maybe we don't. We do need the Site of Grace for Bernie, though. This is important. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go get Golden Vow first, and then we're gonna go finish off everything in Limgrave. Oh, weird, I didn't accidentally trigger the wolf invasion. Not the correct way of doing this, but it worked out anyways. Oh boy, horse meat. Yum yum. To be fair, now that I think about it, my character Twink, our current character for this run, yeah, I would believe Twink would probably eat horse meat. Yeah, no, I would totally believe that. I'm pretty confident that Twink would not only eat horse meat, but he'd definitely also drink unicorn blood. Because, like, yeah, kind of looks a little bit like a demon. Just a little bit like a Voldemort. Alright, exploding balls. I'd rather not lose a run to fucking cock and ball torture, so yay. Damn, this graveyard has a golden 5 in it, and it's actually safer. That's actually kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of nutty that this graveyard has that level of runage in it. Because, like, this is right around the corner from the very start of the game. So, like, that's... damn, that's not bad, actually. Alright, this would be up to 14 stones total. Very nice. And that's enough to get a weapon up to +3. And as it stands right now, we can already get balls, I think up to +4? Oh, no, actually, we can get balls up to +5. Okay, cool, nice. That'll actually be useful for when we actually go down into the cave system. Because we probably will be doing that. Probably. You know what? No, we will be doing that. I've already kind of made a hard commitment of doing it multiple times, and as I've stated before, there's really only the one section there that's actually scary. So I just have to beat that one section, and then we're good. We're cooking. So. Alright, let's go do some limb graving. Or, I'm sorry, limb graving. Let's go do some Liurnia. Alright. One teensy little checkpoint here with this dog. The dog gave me good RNG. We'd love to see it. Alright, dog 1 and dog 2. That one always usually howls. Very good. It's not really that scary of a checkpoint, but it's just enough so because that very first dog can just kind of choose to be a dick sometimes. And will choose to lunge instead of actually just, like, slowly wandering around. So, it can be a little annoying, but it's usually not a problem. Alright, leave Thops alone. Thops gets to breathe another day. Mainly because I don't really feel like fucking testing the waters and seeing if he suddenly gets in, like, a pot shot. That would be unfortunate and kind of embarrassing. Don't need anything from this little encampment. Alright. Do have a handful of things to purchase up ahead of here. I think this will cover the cost. Beautiful. Okay.
Surprised no matter. Why don't? Oh, but don't.
It's funny that he says that as if though he were actually properly hidden. Even though you really look at this little area that he's in, and it's like, the fuck do you mean you thought you were hidden? The fuck do you actually mean you thought this was a secret little spot? Like, brother, I might as well have just sat myself right on the side of the road and been like, oh, I really hope no one finds me. Okay. Uh-huh. Right, yeah. Ugh. Oh well. Like, I know that, I think the dialogue is technically semi-randomized with the merchants, but, like, it still just feels silly. Alright, they did happen to notice me there, but surely they don't come down and murder me? They haven't aggroed yet, which is good. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. There we go, that's one less thing. Avoid the lads. We do not have time for the lads. So funny enough, and like I guess I probably talk a little bit about what I've been doing in the meantime, while I've been kind of on my, like, not hiatus, but hiatus. As I've been playing, actually, funny enough, some Marvel Rivals. Because some friends were like, hey, you know what, why don't you come hang out with us on Marvel Rivals and whatnot? Be probably good for you for time being. Not a bad idea. So I did. And honestly, like, I don't dislike it. I actually kind of, I've become to, like, really love it. I still am very much so not really one for, playing, competitive shooters like that, like Overwatch and stuff like that. Not really. It's not really my cup of tea by any means. But I mean, like, all things being said, it hasn't been a bad time, frankly. It's been good. I've been having fun with it. I've been enjoying the experience mainly, I think, because I have the friends there with me and whatnot, which has been a good time. Alright, what's going to be my crab RNG of the day? Surely crab is... Oh, wow, crab was super friendly. I mean, kind of. Like, crab RNG is kind of fucking wacky doober, to say the least. It's really up in the air on which kind of crab you're going to get that day. But, like, for some weird reason, the crab that decides to chill over there in the corner and just essentially do nothing for a while is kind of the best crab to get. Because, like, it's stuck in, like, a eating animation for that time being, so as long as you slip in there, grab the stones, and then get the fuck out, you pretty much will always get your stones. That much is guaranteed, for the most part. Alright, cool. Now we can get up to a +8 on our bulls. Alright, we don't really technically need that side of grace, but I get it anyways, because it makes me feel slightly better. Go ahead and get that going. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna say in this case, I probably will end up bleed greasing this time. It just makes it slightly safer to murder Mr. Big Balls. Only slightly safer. Like, if we really wanted to go balls to the walls, haha, on making sure we're safe about murdering him, we would also get Golden Bow, and we would also set up our flask and whatnot. But, like, in theory, we don't even need the bleed grease to murder him. We just essentially need to not fuck up. Which is really as simple as just walking up to him and spinning our chain in his face. That's really about it. That being said, bleed grease. It's bloody, and it bleeds. There we go. Beautiful. Hurry up. Hurry up. Thank you. There we go. Head over this way. Cool. I think at this point we can pretty much just have balls equipped. We'll go ahead and put balls in our offhand because balls are going to be our main weapon for the most part right now. Which, for most of the time that we end up doing anything in this game, our balls, or our main weapon, gets offhanded, because all of our buffing starts off in the right hand. It's just easier to cycle through everything from the right. Okay, cool.
Hello. 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 It's rather my mistress that I was a... Could I ask that thug only if you've... Oh, to bless the thug, please.
Please.
Oh, thank you. Did I forget? I see. You are very to steady such. Please. For most time, you are a volcano. This land at the lift instead. At the base it was I have faith in. I do hope. At the base it was excavate. I have faith in. I do hope.
Shit, I wonder if that dialogue triggered her to go to the lift in this case instead of where you might normally find her. Possibly, maybe. I mean, it's not really that bad if that's the case, but it can be kind of annoying if that is the case. So, whatever. You know what? I guess because we're going to be in the area for it, and because it really doesn't cost us too much effort, I'll get the Grace next to Adula. Because the Adula fight is honestly pretty straightforward. So I'll probably get that just because it really doesn't cost me much effort. Likewise, I'm going to ignore... I normally get some Smithy 2s right there, but I'm going to ignore that this time because we don't need them. Yeah, we don't need them. And it's slightly dangerous. And by slightly dangerous, I quite genuinely mean, like, it's not very dangerous at all. It just has enough of a scare that it's like, why would I put the risk on that? So. No, actually, we don't need that Grace on the lake. I guess we can get the Grace that's right over here instead. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. It puts us close to Adula, but at the same time, I think that's a slightly more convenient Grace to work off of. So, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Cool. Yeah, look at that. It's literally right over there. And that also puts us against Adula's back, which, honestly, yeah, that works out. That works out pretty well. Alright, get this. Alright, there's two of these fucking goofy goobers over here. It would arguably be nice if neither of them were looking right at me. But whatever, we'll take it as is. Where are the... There they are. Cool. Alright, got that. Get out our bow. We do want to go pop these little rune balloons that are chilling around because, I mean, 2k a piece, kind of worth a lot. Yeah, early game especially, that is just really good money. Surely I hit it from this distance. Okay, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. All the money in the world, and we are on our way. Alright, now, with that done, go and start doing just a little teensy bit of some setup here. Oh, I haven't gotten the strength tier yet. Ooh, okay. That's kind of a stupid thing for me to forget. Alright, in that case, I'll pump this real quickly, and we're gonna go get the strength tier before I completely forget about it. And then, I think probably once we're done with that, probably, we'll start making our way up to Altus Plateau. Luckily on this one, because our runes are frankly low enough that I'm not really concerned about losing 400 runes, I'm just gonna pretty much just Sight of Grace out here instead of what I normally do. Like, it's not really that scary. Actually, you know what? The giant didn't even notice us, so never mind. We don't even have to do that. Just gonna use Stormhill as a safety because it's close. And in situations like that, you really don't want to risk that extra level of possible aggro. But, either way, there's that. Now we go ahead and we head back to the bridge. Head across the entire bridge. Get the Sight of Grace that's on the other side of the bridge. And then once we've done that, we can go down into the cave system roughly at that point. But we're not going to do that just yet because there is plenty to be done. And I don't really want to go into a cave system without leveling my weapon first. I don't really think it's at danger of going into the first cave system with +1 balls, or +0 balls. But, like, why would I put that risk on my hands when I could just, you know, not? So, yeah. There we go. Reasonably thinking about it, I can't see a good enough reason to go over to the little third church that's over to our right. Our flask is already at a +4 right now, and as far as +4 stands, like, we're not healing, and that's really only to replenish mana, or FP, which we don't really need a shit ton of FP anyways, so, like, it's not really required. It's nice to have, it's not necessary, though. That's a lot of, I have a lot more, root resin than I normally do, which is kind of nice. Okay. Also, I just realized I still haven't gotten the crafting kit, which, fair enough. There we go. Nice and easy. Not a single enemy aggroed. Gorgeous. We're already almost at Altus. Almost at Altus and we're under an hour. Not bad. I think before we end up going into the first cave system, I probably will go ahead and level my balls, frankly. I don't know why I got that grace, because I don't really need that one. It's, ow. It's kind of unnecessary, I'm thinking about it. Because we go to the very top here, and we get a grace anyways. So. Alright, is she in there? Yes, she is. Beautiful. Raya is where we want her to be. We don't talk to Raya for a while. We actually want to wait until we've killed Bernie. Once we kill Bernie, then we can go ahead and talk to her. But until that time frame, we do not do that. Okay. We'll wait until we're at the grace right behind the tree sentinels. Once we're there, then I'll go ahead and warp, and we can start leveling our balls. We're probably going to level our balls enough so that way when we go into the cave system that's right there, we can pretty much just take advantage of the situation entirely and melt through the cave miners that are in there. So that's pretty much the idea, at least. Completely useless item. Beautiful. You know, something we might end up doing for Morgot, or Margit, rather, is we might, I don't know, like, I'm thinking of possibly doing a Grace Out as soon as the fight starts. Because if we do a Grace Out and start the fight, pretty much from the gate, then he very often does, like, a running up and then drop down charge attack that he does on you. And usually that's very, very punishable. There is some decent opening RNG he can give you, but the only problem with that opening RNG is that, I mean, it very often can kind of go sideways. So, yeah. There we go. Let's go ahead and head back and level up our balls. There's another reason we want to do this anyways, too, is because if we end up doing this now, with our balls leveled up, and also with us going against the cave dwellers, if we end up killing the cave dwellers and they do end up dropping some Smithy 5s for us, that's free Smithy 5s that we don't have to get later, which would be really nice. Alright, Crag on my balls. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and probably take the flail and make the flail my Golden Vow weapon. It's slightly lighter. It's not really... You know what? No, I'm just going to go get the fucking dagger. It just makes more sense to just go buy the dagger real quickly. I need the dagger anyways at that point, but... Alright, let's go and buy the dagger, and I guess since we're here, we'll buy the seal as well. And I guess because it's here too, and we have enough money for it... Yeah, I'll go and buy the rapier. There we go. Cool. All easy expenses handled. Now we can go and get our Golden Vow dagger. We can go ahead and also get Flame Grant Me.
No matter.
Beautiful. I'm going to sell a decent amount here because I do want to do some leveling up after this too. And the balls I'm going to pretty much just kind of carry and take them as far as I can for the time being, because the balls are going to be what we're going to be using early game. For sure at this point, yeah. Alright, Golden Vow Dagger, wonderful. And the rapier has a use, but it's not useful yet. I'm going to real quickly sell what I don't need in terms of weaponry. I don't need the flail anymore, for sure. And I think that's pretty much it. Katana I might need, but I don't really see myself needing it for really a good long while. There we go. Cool. Our balls are leveled up. Go ahead and Golden Vow Dagger on my offhand. Okay. And let's do a quick little bit of leveling up. And then we'll probably go do, actually, no, we'll probably save Fort Jail for a little bit longer, because I want to go into Fort Jail with Assassin's Gambit. That, I kind of really want to make sure I have that planned out. That being said, I'll go ahead and get the 1 point into Faith, so that way I'm just that little bit closer to it, and when I actually get the requirement, I'm good to go, pretty much. Okay, cool. How much is a level up real quickly? Not a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and make that difference up. Ah. I have that awkward amount of runes. Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I know I could probably just kill something real quickly and that would cover the cost, but Whatever, I'll not worry about it. 1,600 runes down the drain potentially does suck, but... pretty much. There we go. Hopefully stealth strats will do the job here in this cave. I haven't tried it properly, but I am hoping that we can take advantage of that. So, we'll see. Okay. Chug this. Golden Bound. Brag on my balls. Alright, does he aggro if I dagger the wall? No! No, he doesn't, because he's an asshole. Alright, fine. Run up, smash his face in. I think he's looking right at me. So, yeah, that wasn't going to work in the first place. Little gremlin stays down. Run up. Give him a nice little back massage. Beautiful. And that would be technically where I could say, fuck it, we're done, we're getting out of here. But I do see 3 cave dwellers that I can murder in one hit. And I would be remiss at not trying. Because then I get a free Smithy 5 for it, which is beautiful. Alright, cool. And a little bit of extra money, too, which doesn't hurt. Alright, I think that can probably just be converted right back out into strength. More than likely. Yeah, you know what? 1 point into strength and 1 point into faith. I want to get that faith requirement now because I'm about to go and get Flame Grant Me anyways. Or soon enough-ish, at least. Alright, let's go ahead and head back to table. Buy the stones that we need to get our balls all the way up to plus 12. Oh, I did that wrong, that's why. Okay, fair enough. Let's go talk to Hugh, then, in that case, to do our quick little selling.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Okay, here we go. Alright, there we go. It's essentially all the money I can possibly milk out of everything I got right now. My balls are at plus 7. And I don't think I have... Never mind, actually. I have a handful of 3s. Okay, so I need 4 more 3s, and then I need 9 more 4s. Okay, joy. There we go. Cool. There we go. And I think on that, actually, we can even get our balls up to, like, plus 13 right now because of the 5s that we found. Yeah, we can get up to plus 13 right now, which is awesome. It's not going to really cover, like, a ton and a half, but hey, plus 13 is plus 13, so. Okay, so my math was slightly off on what level I was at. That's my bad. Okay. Now I need 4 more. Surely. Yeah. Okay. Alright, whatever. There we go. Ugh. Damn, that's kind of a hit on the total money. It's okay. It is what it is, but still.
No matter.
There we go. Plus 13 on our balls. Very nice. We could actually go over to Old Altus Tunnel to take it even further right now if we wanted to. Which we might end up doing that anyways, because, I mean, why not? Okay, let's do... Yeah, let's just go, honestly, hard balls to the walls on strength right now. There we go. And... I think at this point we could probably go ahead and... You know what? Yeah, I think I will go do Old Altus Tunnel. Well, technically there's 2 caves over here in Altus Plateau that do the job for us. Both of them are important. Both of them are definitely important, but... We could probably take our balls against Maggie right now if we wanted to. I'd prefer to hold off on doing that, maybe. So I think I will hold off. At least for the time being. Like, I don't think she would be that big of a challenge, but I'd rather her be close to a one-shot than potentially risk way too much. So... Alright, so with it a plus 13 right now, we currently need an extra 10 to cover the rest of the distance. I'm gonna attribute that one to bad RNG right there, honestly, because number of times I've had that guy aggro to me is not many. And here he is trying to fucking run up and be a dickhead. Okay, cool. Can't really say I got away with anything there, just I got luckier than I technically think I should have. Alright, Old Altus Tunnel. A relatively dangerous cave, in all seriousness. But of course you can do shit like that, so, I mean, like, you know, yeah. I think that was everybody in there? Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. I wouldn't say it balances the experience out, it just simply changes up what the actual risk is. Barely. Barely ever so slightly. shit. Okay, that was a fucking double negative there. GG's. You know what? Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. That's free. That was so just not safe at all. But yeah, sure, we'll take it. Take it. There's still a chance some of these minor guys here happen to drop an extra couple of Smithy 5s too, for all it's worth. So hopefully they do that. Drop. Drop one. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. How about you, kind sir? Will you drop one? No. You? No. Okay. Alright. This way. I don't know where that one dog went in particular, but I am mildly concerned about its existence. Are there explosives in there? Yes, there is explosives in there. Right, that aggroed just the cave dweller, which we love to see that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Alright, and then there is one dog that's chilling right there. In this case, I'm just gonna... against the wall. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, cool. There's some extra 5s. We're up to 5 5s. There's a little bit more in this cave system for us to go off of. Oh shit, the dog. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Dogs every time. Ah. Dogs every... I shouldn't be surprised. It's still just annoying as piss. Cause such a stupid fucking hit to have taken. Alright. That aggro all of them? Yes, it did. Gorgeous. Right up here. That. I guess, to be fair, it didn't aggro all of them fully, but, like, it did enough of the job that I was looking for, so, yeah, we'll take it. We almost got out of there, but unfortunately that one room is just it is a damn dangerous room. It really is. It makes me kind of question whether or not I just want to try and farm the miners in the one cave for the Smithy 5s at that point. As in theory, if I were to do that instead, I wouldn't have to go through this cave at all. And, like, yeah, this cave kind of, it causes some issues. It does. But oh well, I guess, is kind of the feeling on that one. Alright. let's go ahead and I guess go get the Smithy 1-2 bell. I do want to start working on getting the Y-hander leveled up too. I think in theory plus 13 balls is probably fine for the Knight Rider out here. The Knight Rider is kind of one of the bosses we want to fight. I think he should be spawned, yeah. I forgot to crag on my balls. Yeah, I forgot to crag on my balls. That's my bad. Oh, god fucking damn it. Jackass. It is the one nice thing about having a large weapon for this fight. It's not a hard fight. It's just one that can kind of claim stupid fucking hits on you if you're not nearly careful enough. And in my case, well, you know, there was a lack of carefulness. Either way, oh well. There's not really something you could say to make me feel any better about this little section right here. It's just any time with those little little gravesides going down the mountainside like that with Torrent, it's not gonna feel good. It's just not gonna feel good. Oh well. I mean, we got plus 13 balls, at least at this point. I mean, this isn't really a problematic cave in the first place. Plus 13 isn't really required here. It's just in this case that there's like a handful of moments that can go completely sideways. And we'll get to them as we get to them. But yeah, they definitely make things go sideways. Question, if I... Yes, that does work. Is it very effective? Eh, questionable. But you know what? It did the job that I more or less was looking for, so. Which was like half a second's worth of de-aggroing that bastard. I think we're just going to run through this cave system for the most part. And I'm just going to see how Nikes just do here. There's a good chance that maybe just Nikes is the way to go. But, yeah, there's a chance that Nikes is just the way to go. Alright, distract that old man. I'm gonna say murder that old man as well. Again, that part right there is, honestly, it just is kind of questionable on whether or not you're going to get away with it. And, like, I don't know why it's so... I mean, I do kind of know why it's not guaranteed. It's because the fucking Aeromancer's back behind you. If it weren't for them, it really wouldn't probably be that bad, but, well, here we are. Alright, let's do this. Alright, he spin in. Beautiful. Is it time to warp back the table right now, or is it time to go and handle another boss? I think it's actually... Yeah, it is time to warp back to table. I want to start prepping the Zweihander. How am I doing stone-wise? Pretty weak. I need more stones right now. That's +6, which is okay, but not quite there. Let's see here. We probably have enough cash to, like, buy a majority of the stones that we need right now. Well, not really. We're still definitely pretty short when it comes to 4s. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna, I guess in this case, probably go do Margit at this point. Actually, you know, we can get our balls up to +14. Let's do that now, because we can. Yeah, let's get our balls up to +14 right now.
Well, I took you.
Why not?
Lay out your own.
How much is a level up cost on this? 760? Okay, alright. It's expensive. Fair enough. There we go. +14. We're missing 4 more stones for the 15. But otherwise, honestly, +14, +15 at this point, we're probably okay. We probably don't need that drastic difference. I'm waiting to do Fort Jail, because I want to be able to stealth in properly to Fort Jail, because Fort Jail can definitely cause some issues otherwise. Let's go back to this Nomad real quickly and buy a handful more of kukri while it is on the brain. Because we currently are back down to 2, and that is a bit short. Actually, you know, while we're here too, I'll buy that pot. Can't buy anything else just yet, but I think we do still need to go back to Kale to buy some stuff from Kale. Hey, Star. Hey, Star, probably give or take like the next 30-ish minutes, roughly 40 minutes at most. After stream, I'll probably be walking my pup for a hot minute, but right after that, I should be okay. I don't know what your plans are tonight, but I would also be okay to run some Marvel if you have the time. Just saying. He tried. He in fact tried to stab me. Good for him. Alright, I think we're pretty much ready. Cool! Nice. Awesome. Dirty my balls. Alright, let's beat an old man to death with my balls. Absolutely fucking packed his cheeks out. Gonna do some late night Silent Hill and grab it tonight, since Silent Hill 2 and F are in a bundle together with for $60. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's nice. This guy's still just yapping, huh? Doesn't know when to stop. Alright. I wonder if Alexander is still trapped. I guess I can go find out. Because if he is still trapped, he will be a quick murder. And I would rather have the skill attack up for Bernal. I would rather have it for Bernal. No, he is no longer trapped. Okay, gotcha. Then in that case, we go back to table. And we level up our Zwei as much as we can, pretty much. Off the 12k that we just got off the old man.
I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Alright, Zwei, we quality that bad boy, I believe. Because I believe quality is just generally better for it. And then we deal with the exorbitant prices of leveling up the Zweihander. I don't think we have enough money to get one more level, do we? No, we don't. Okay, alright. I don't know if +8 is good enough, but I guess we could find out. I feel like +8 might be good enough if I do some bleed grease with it as well, maybe. So let me try that. Either way, we still need to get the money required to get whatchamacallit, so we're not technically out of the woods yet. Alright, Bernal, time to go to bed, buddy.
What's wrong with you?
A lot.
I won't say. I suppose I have no choice then. You are an enigma.
Okay, I mean,
To be certain.
that worked out. Yeah, that worked out. Cool, awesome. Okay. Now we can go back here. Go talk to what's her face? To Raya. And we can get our butt cheeks on up to the manor. I also still need to get bleed grease. Or the bleed grease. The crafting kit. There we go.
I knew you. I here take my hand. Give I will
Doing that tap R2 definitely worked there. That was good. I think in this case the tap R2 helped trigger the fight for him and get it started, but it didn't put him into that weird state where he just eats the first hit and then immediately aggroes. So
Now you the drawing room, but be sure. The drawing room is
Alright, there we go. Alright, let's head over to Hugh, I guess, for a hot minute. Because I do need to probably sell off everything that we just got from Bernie. In order to afford Assassin's Gambit, probably. I guess I have these stones too, don't I? Do that, and then... Bernie's stuff is worth a decent amount of money, which is nice. I'll sell off my katana, I think, because the katana is not really doing me any favors at this point. I forget if it's 5,500 or 6,500 for Assassin's Gambit, but I believe we just cut the range for it, so... There we go. 6,500, yep. Oh, I ran the wrong direction, nice.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Okay, right. Rapier gets the Assassin's Gambit. And then let's go ahead and start making our way over to Fort Jail, I guess. Actually, with as much as we kind of do here, we don't really need any graces, I guess, going to Fort Jail. We can just kind of ignore that for the most part, so I probably will. I don't really see a reason to get any graces there, just because. Alright, not really worried about Exec. There we go. Perfect. No, didn't accidentally mean to run through an area with doggies like that, but whatever. It's fine. It's totally fine. Not dangerous at all. A sniper up there? I think it is. I guess to be fair, there's one risk of doing this. Never mind, he is off aura farming a little too hard. So he does not have time for us. Which, you know what? Cool. I'll take it. You know what? I said that I don't want this grace, but I think I want this grace. Yeah, you know what? I do want this grace, actually. Just because of this one dog here. Sure, whatever. There we go. I can't say that that was, like, the best routing and whatnot ever, but, like, that, it worked. It worked. It did do the job. I think it's this one here that's right next to, yeah, that's the one that's right next to Adula. Which we technically will need more money for Adula at some point here if we plan to do the Adula murdering. So, either way, for right now at least, I can go ahead and just put Flame Grant Me on. And I guess in this case, because... well, essentially, we're on our way to Margit, or not Margit, Godric at this point. And we'll probably keep it ballsy with Margit, I think. It makes arguably the most sense for Margit. Yeah, I think it makes arguably the most sense for Margit, so we'll just keep it that way.
You there? It's tight. Oh, God, you breached. Well, but of course.
I don't know if it's actually dangerous, or if it's better routing to go the back way, or to go the way that I normally go, which is, you know, right through the main gate. I want to personally argue that this is the better routing, just because I've done it so many times. But, I don't know, like, I just genuinely don't know. Don't get me wrong, shit like that happens when you take the fucking main route over here, but... I don't know, I generally don't find it as dangerous to do this. Because I think I've just done it so many times that because my Nike strats are relatively on point with this, it just kind of works. It just kind of works. Don't really think I need to sit at the Set of Grace just yet. Or really at all right now. I mean, other than refilling health, we're not really wasting resources, so... Alright, well, almost all of them took care of that in the way that they were supposed to. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, can't say that that was safe. Because really it wasn't. That was more luck than anything, I think, at that point, that kicked in there for me, but we'll take it. We'll take it. I am kind of questioning on whether or not I'm gonna end up leveling up the balls as well. Or not the balls, but Starfists. I think because I've made such a hard dedication to the standard balls at this point, we'll probably do standard balls. For right now, at least. They're not bad. It's just obviously, like... it's kind of that meme of, like, Jeremy and then Jeremy, but cooler. Yeah, that's kind of it, honestly. Also, I believe these pots are safer than I normally actually give credit for here. Yeah, they are in fact safer than I give credit for. With that little teensy bit of stealth, that is in fact safe. Okay. Alright. And balls. Finger seal. I think we're essentially ready at that point. I do need to do a quick hot swap right at the beginning of the fight for Flame Grant Me. But other than that, we're essentially ready to go. Just enough for my balls. Beautiful. And max health doesn't matter right now because, well, it just doesn't. Okay, perfect.
And one day,
And no, we don't let him fucking yap. Of course we don't let him yap. What crazy? He's silly? No. No, it's Godric. We don't fucking let the man yap. He has not earned the respect. Beautiful. Alright, cool. There we go. That would be Godric down. And then we can make the run on over and get the Great Rune, activate the Great Rune, and not even have to worry about having his seal active, or the finger seal anymore, which is nice. Alright, there we go. Cool. I think this is a waste. Yeah, it is. I forget if this was actually even really that useful the last time I used this on here, but fuck it. We're here. We're here now. I'm willing to guess that it ever so slightly will be. Only because, like, it's stealth. In theory, stealth is not a bad thing. So. Never fucking hit. Can't hit his shots. Bozo. Silly Billy. I was gonna say, this is the one time where the fucking arrow goes completely sideways. Because I know that they can fucking do that sometimes, and it not cool. Not chill. Alright. So, with Godric down, we have Radahn. Radahn is left. And after we're done with Radahn, we are officially on our way to the capital, pretty much. But I think what we're going to probably do is, once Radahn is dead, I think we're going to go and leave it at that for tonight. More than likely. So. Radahn seems like a roughly good calling point because a lot happens after Radahn, admittedly. And yeah, honestly, that's just kind of it. A lot happens after Radahn. Pretty much after Radahn, it's really just kind of a boss rush to the end of the game. So. Alright. Gonna sit down at a site of grace here pretty shortly. I forget if we have our third talisman pouch at this point. I don't think we do. I think we get it right after we kill another boss. I believe so, at least. Anyways, Great Rune. Gojik's Great Rune active. Oh, I forgot to level up too while I was at it. That's my bad. Also, I probably want to go ahead and pop this Remembrance. I mean, do I? Because this could be money that I dedicate towards the this Y-hander. Nah. Nah, I'd rather the damage stats right now, admittedly. We'll get money after we're done anyways, and that can go towards that next major checkpoint, so. Damage now, please. Not that it matters, but there is going to be a 6 here for us, which, I mean, we don't really get any value out of just a 6. Probably won't get any value out of 6s for a little bit until we get to the mountaintops. But I'm thinking in this case I might just ignore kind of what I might have thought to do, which is I would try to get my weapon up to like a plus 17. And while that's possible, I don't know if it's entirely worth it. I don't really even know if it's worth it to get anything past like a plus 14 right now at this point. But that may be something I kind of experiment with Morgott.
The festival. The festival.
The festival.
Before we begin.
The festival.
But now.
Oh, the cell.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Walls. Already have these. Gorgeous. And I have pretty much my two talismans that actually matter right now towards what I'm doing, so we're good to go there. Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready. We're essentially ready for this right now. Pretty much Flask, Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me, and then Crag on my balls. And then wait for Radahn to come running up to us to punish the ever-living shit out of him for breathing. I have to be careful with it sometimes just because when the camera fucks up like that and you don't have the right angle for it, you go riding sideways instead of running right at the boss. And that can be pretty bad, especially considering Radahn will snipe your shit. I don't think I'll need more blue, but I'll chug anyways just in case. Alright, good RNG. Alright, big meaty punchers on Lenny? Roll in front, run behind. Punch the ever-living shit out of Lenny. Get unfortunately screwed over because the game is silly. Still get the kill, though. Radahn is one of those bosses where the hitbox wasn't quite thought through, I think. He's a bit of a pain in the ass to get your fucking punches in on. It's a little frustrating, but oh well. Anyways,
What are you playing at? Wait, I see. How could this?
No, you don't, buddy.
Was my whole existence just?
Good chance of it, yeah. Alright, there we go, and... Alright, I'm gonna say before I go spending this money... Well, before I go leveling, I'm gonna go ahead and take the money and go invest what I can into the Zweihander. Likewise, I also get my new talisman slot right now, so that's good.
Only
Fine. You have now to become the thing as much.
Right, bye! Bye! Alright, I think... How many did we need, actually? Wait, I'm forgetting right now. Alright, Zwei is up to a +8. We did end up getting the stones needed, I think, to get it to a +9. Yes. Okay, so I need 10 more... Okay, 10 more, and then we can get it up to a +13. If we so choose. Which, honestly, I'm not really seeing a reason not to just do that. Oh, that's interesting. The crafting kit ends up getting more expensive when it comes here. Oh well, fair enough. I mean, honestly, I've been delaying it long enough, so... There we go. I probably will use the Zwei for Maggie. Because the Zwei, I think, would just be slightly better for Maggie, just because of its range. You miss a shot on Maggie, it's kind of disappointing. And luckily, the Zwei makes it a little harder to do that.
Now, those are the challenge, find them wet.
So yeah. There we go, +13. And I think we'll go ahead and take the Crag Blade and put it on... Yeah, well, actually, do I have any of the, No, I don't. Okay, fair enough. I don't know where an easy one would be, but it would definitely make my life easier in the future having one for this area, just to do that, and just to hot swap it. So. There we go. Alright, let's spend the rest of our money real quickly on leveling up. Then we'll go kill Maggie. And yeah. Alright, let's do 40. And I do need a little bit of endurance to hopefully get myself back into light load. There we go. Cool. Alright, off to do Maggie. Old Altus Tunnel, last time we did Old Altus, or Altus Tunnel, there were definitely some problems in there that otherwise, like, I don't know if it's worth the effort of getting a +15 weapon or +16 weapon that early. It can happen. It just, the mannequins are such little fucking gremlins that I don't really know if it's worth that risk, frankly. I know I don't really need to do all this buffing for Maggie, but fuck it. Big damage numbers make my brain go burr. So... There we go. Ritual Sword Talisman acquired. Gorgeous. Okay, cool. I think that's essentially most, if not all, of what I wanted to kind of get done tonight. When we go over to Dragon Tree Sentinel, we're probably going to end up swapping back into... You know what? I'm going to swap it now, because I don't want to get back next time and forget to fucking do it. The balls were definitely cooking way harder. So I think I'm going to swap back to balls real quickly for my crack my blade.
Just lay out.
There we go. Cool. All right, cool. Well, folks, I think that's going to have to be it for tonight. Thank you all very, very much for joining me. Honestly, 2 hits, and we're almost pretty much what I would consider like the 2/3. Well, not 2/3. That's incorrect. 1/3 to like slightly past 1/3 way of the game. Once we're done with Lane and Mountaintop of the Giants, that's essentially 2/3, I would say. And then pretty much everything past that point, it just kind of becomes a very quickly cascading boss rush. Even more so, because really the areas you run through, other than Farum Azula is a little bit long and lengthy to run through, but it's not horrible. But once you're done there, it pretty much just becomes immediately Gideon into Horaloo into Radagon Elden Beast, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of the game. So, as long as everything goes pretty much the way that we want it to, in theory, we'll definitely be done with this next time, and hopefully we'll be done next time with only 2 hits. That would be pretty darn good. Wouldn't actually complain about that one. That's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. There's definitely still practice to be had, clearly, obviously. But either way, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you joined me, I appreciate it as always. Have a wonderful rest of your nights. If you're new to the stream, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a ton and a half. Means a ton and a half. And it's a very easy way to help out. Other than that, take good care of yourselves. Get some food, some water, some sleep. Whatever your time frame in the world is, though, just take good care of yourselves. And I will see you all next time.